Hey, what's up? Rob Arnold here, and today I'm going to be taking you through my setup for this gorgeous Music Man Jason Richardson Signature Series 7-string guitar. I'll be showing you everything I did to get it to sound and feel the way I wanted it to for that little intro video demo that you guys just saw here at the beginning of the video. I'm doing this guitar up for a buddy of mine who wants this guitar set up in drop G. From the factory, this guitar comes in like a standard tuning, which on a 7-string is E through E on 6 through 1, and a low B string for your 7th string. So by dropping it to drop G, what we need to do is drop string 6 through 1 a whole step to D, and then drop the 7th string 2 whole steps to G. And a massive string changing or tuning change and string gauge change like that will require us to refloat the bridge, which will perhaps require us to do some spring adjustments there, either tightening or loosening. Also some truss rod adjustments, maybe not. And finally, intonation. So I'm gonna walk you through all of that. And we're gonna be throwing on these D'Addario New York XLs, 10 through 59 that he wanted there. But damn, look at that, 16 bucks for a pack of strings nowadays. I find that unbelievable. As a kid, I remember buying strings for $5 a pack, but I guess times, they haven't changed. I've decided for this video that I'm just gonna kind of cruise through all the real time-intensive work and kind of just skip over the nitty-gritty details, as I already have multiple in-depth tutorials on my channel regarding string changing, floating your tremolo, adjusting intonation, those sort of things. You could find the link to my string changing series tutorials in the description below. I'll obviously take the time to stop when there's some important point that I think needs mentioning or something that's unique or interesting to a situation that we come across, but I just want you to know that all the principles I'm going to describe in this video and all of my maintenance tutorial videos can be applied to any guitar, any brand, any number of strings, any tremolo, any bridge, pickups, hardware, just any configuration. It's more about the principles and just giving you more confidence to deal with any situation that comes up with your guitar or any changes that you want to make to it so that you know how to deal with that and get it sounding and feeling great for you, staying in tune, those sort of things. So that's my point here, to try to help you just have a better understanding of the guitar. I'll talk about the things I think are necessary, but for the most time, I'm gonna time-lapse cruise through string change and stuff like that. If you wanna see more of that, again, check out more of the other videos on my channel there. So anyways, let's get started. First off, before today, I had never even touched a Music Man guitar. And so this is my first time checking one out. It appears to be really well made, and it has some features that I think are really cool. The price tag is tremendous, I must say, but hey, sometimes you gotta drop a penny to turn some heads, right? Little about the specs: 24 frets, ebony fretboard, alder body, combination that I really like. And this is a really cool piece of wood here. I hear that every single one of these guitars is unique in terms of, you know, its finish on this here. I forget what they call that. But another thing I like is check out this bridge. I've never even seen a bridge like this. It behaves and feels just like a Floyd, and it's set up the same in the back. But there are no fine tuners and no locking nut. And I kind of like that. I had never even really considered that concept. Of course, I've seen bridges without fine tuners and stuff, but not that it floats just like a Floyd. It feels like that, you know. Some Fenders, I forget what those bridges are called, where they have a whammy bar, but you can only dip them, or certain ones. But anyways, this, I'll say it again, feels just like a Floyd, and there's none of the nonsense. You know, those saddles and cutting off the balls. You know, the strings here just go through the back. You keep the balls on. Intonation seems easy to adjust. I mean, this thing seems like a dream. I'm excited to work with that. What else we got here? Beautiful finish on the neck there. That feels like an oil satin finish or something there. Cool looking headstock. Crazy electronics. I'll show you there in a little bit when we open that up. And some nice tuners there. I like the look of that. They're kind of like the 87 Eclipse ones I got there, like the ESP tuners. Those remind me of, but this look like a good feel. Like I like the look of them better than Spurzels. As I mentioned, a crazy electronics configuration in there. There's all sorts of boosts and crazy stuff that you can read about just by, you know, Googling this guitar. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove these strings, give it a quick polish, then I will put the new strings on and see how the bridge reacts. It's either going to be pulled up or dip down on the back. And we'll address that after we see what happens after we put those strings on, get a generally decent tuning going, and then kind of tackle it from there and see what we need to do. So I'm gonna do that quickly here, and I'll see you back after the short commercial break. So don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back here. So, fresh strings are on, and as I expected, the bridge has dropped back significantly into the body. That's how it should be. I'm pushing this whammy bar way up, like that to get it. It's gone way back into the body. And the reason for that is because we have decreased tension. We've lowered the tuning, so there's less tension, and we didn't change the string gauge too much. We went from 56s to 59s. So that's not that significant, but the tuning change is a whole step plus 2 whole steps on that 7th string has dropped the bridge back into the body. So what we need to do is loosen these springs, which will then relieve tension from these springs and pull the bridge back up. So now I'm going to go through the process of loosening a little. I'm probably going to start with around a full turn, then retune, then again, back and forth, back and forth. You guys have heard me talk about this in other videos. If you haven't, check those out, my float videos. But adjusting the screws evenly, retune. See where you're at, do it again. See where you're at. Each time you should do it, the adjustments should be a little bit less and a little bit less until you maintain that perfect flow. So that's what I'm gonna get started on, and I'll see you back once we've achieved that perfect float. Okay, so that first adjustment actually went about a turn and a half. It basically made 0 difference. So we got a long way to go, continuing to loosen the screws in the back and retuning over and over and over again. Okay, we are looking good. We're in tune, drop G, and the float looks perfecto. I know it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with this kind of like big thing right here. But look at that, you can see that float is gorgeous. Super hard to tell there, but super gorgeous. And we're looking good. In tune. Well, it's gonna constantly change a little bit here as the strings are settling in, but you saw how all that stretching, all that retuning, everything was just necessary. I mean, you could still do this without doing all that, but then you're gonna go play it in the morning and it's gonna be totally whacked out. So all this is necessary. You wake up tomorrow and it's gonna be great. The other thing is that a tuning this low, drop G, to me is finicky. It constantly wants to go out of tune, and I think it'd be a pain in the ass to deal with all the time. Just constantly having to retune, which is where an Evertune would come in fantastic. You know, that'd be great. I'm assuming they make them for 7s. But the Evertune would keep that just right, but a floating bridge with a tuning this low is just a lot of stress, but it can be done. We did it there. We're looking good. So my next thing is going to be action. And so I just kind of need to see how it feels. First, I'm gonna just look at it, and the action looks incredibly high to me. And what I'm looking at is just the distance between the fretboard and the string. It's just a lot to push down there. So, probably gonna have to lower that. So to me, the action feels a little bit high. Maybe I'll start there. And the truss rod isn't really meant for setting action. It does have a slight effect on it, but it's more so just to have your neck straight and buzzing as little as possible. Good thing is, our tuning is staying nice. Yeah, I like that. That looks perfect. Okay, so we're looking super good. The float is perfect. We're staying in tune. I've gone ahead and tightened the truss rod slightly, which in this case was turning this clockwise, just about a half a turn. Looking at my relief, the neck got a little straighter. I could even go the tiniest bit straighter, but I'm gonna let it sit until tomorrow and make any tiny little final adjustments after that. But right now, just to show you what I'm gonna do is look at the intonation, and we're gonna adjust that right back here. So basically, tightening the screw pulls the saddle back, lengthening the string, loosening the screw sends the saddle forward, shortening the string. And I'm gonna check it open, make sure I'm in perfect tune. I'm gonna fret the 12th fret. 6th string is hardest in these low tunings like this. I'm sorry, the 7th string. And it appears to be way off. So what we do when determining whether to tighten or loosen this is what's called chasing the needle sometimes. You're looking at the needle of the tuner. Let's start with like this high D string here. Get it in perfect tune. I'm gonna fret at the 12th fret. It's pretty good. It's the tiniest bit sharp. So we chased the needle if we wanted to make that adjustment, and the needle was right of tune, so we're gonna move the saddle away, or this way, to the right. If it was flat of tune, we'd send the saddle towards the flat, towards the neck. So that's chasing the needle. If it's flat, send it towards the neck. If it's sharp of tune, send it back away from the neck. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for each string. After that, final tuning, polish, and we'll be done. So there is it, guys. Everything I've done to this guitar today is going to transpire into the jam through I'm about to do right now, which by the magic of movie making, I've already put together and put at the beginning of this video to try to perk your interest. I hope it worked. And if you've made it this far into the video, I know you must be a hardcore guitar maintenance type of dude. or girl. So thank you, I appreciate it. Make sure you check out the other videos on my channel. Lots to offer, lots of cool stuff. My guitar instructional DVD, if you'd like to see how I jam and riff out, songwriting, soloing, everything like that, that's available in my store, robarnoldworld.com/store, as well as my custom Kemper profiling pack through tonecrate.com. But you can also find that in my store, robarnoldworld.com/store. And if you have the ability and the means and you're interested in supporting the channel at a greater means and just getting a little closer to what I got going on, more behind the scenes stuff, all that, please check out my Patreon campaign, patreon.com/robarnoldworld. Cool stuff there. Just a huge help to me. Helps me get music and videos out there quicker to you guys. So again, thanks so much. If you found the video useful, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Cheers.